This is the time I got hit by a truck.
En mi vida te saqué, yo te saqué, te di banda y te solté.
But it was like freshman year last year. So like my dad's like this like president of a car club that he has. So we decided to like go whatever, you know. It was in Rockford, so like it was like for passing, I don't even remember where it was. Let's just say it was a really long drive, right? So basically like, you know, it was like this really big event. It was like a baseball field, like don't know why, but we ended up going and like it was fun and stuff like that, blah blah blah, you know, minding my own business, right? So they have this like section for burnout, like for the trucks that burn out. I'll put a video. I don't even know if I have the video. This is my whole phone. But there's like the burnout, right? Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Tell me why. Okay, I'm walking with my family, right? It was my whole family was there, you know. My aunt and my uncle, you know, whatever. Tell me why. There's cones blocking off for people to walk, right? Tell me, out of everyone there, I am walking with my family, right? I'm walking. There's this 16-year-old kid. 16, just got his license, using his daddy's truck, right? Driving, doesn't see the cones, and goes, and runs over my foot. My foot. Let me tell you something. My foot hurted so bad. I like whatever, like, you know, like I didn't really like knew what happened because like I was like kind of shook, like that really just happened to me. I mean, like I was fine that it was me after because I realized that there was like this like 6-year-old walking. I was like, could have been him, but it's fine that it was me because I, you know, whatever. So like I fall, like not fall, but like I kind of like sat on the floor because like my foot just got like smashed. And my mom, because like the guy he like you can hear the tires screeching on the floor. And my mom, she like looks behind me and she sees me on the floor. And let me tell you something, my Latina mom, oh, let me tell you something, she like, okay, so like she looked back and she saw that I was on the floor, right? So then she's just like, oh, like did he just hit you? I was like I was like trying to, you know, like when you're like a kid and like you hurt yourself and you're like and you're sort of kind of crying, right? Okay, so like, and then I was like, yeah. So then my mom, like I never seen my mom run before, like she dashed. And then like I guess like the car continued to drive, right? So then my mom called my dad telling like, oh, like because the truck was going for the burnout. And my mom called my dad and like told him to stop the car because like, you know, like he just hit me, whatever. So it was like, let me tell you something, all these Mexicans, when they see chisme, they want to see the chisme. Tell me why everyone started circling around me as I'm on the floor crying, like I'm freaking out. And everyone's just sitting on, like everyone's circling, like not one person like, oh, like are you, no. But there was this doctor that was there. She was really nice. Like she came over, she's like, oh, like I'm a doctor, blah 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 blah. She saw what happened. So she like took my shoe off, whatever, she like checked my foot. And let me tell you something, the only thing that I had in my mind was I have soccer tryouts the next month. Didn't make the team. But like I like spent so much money on like getting like cleats and getting a bag and getting a soccer ball, getting shin guards, getting socks, you know? And I'm like, whatever. So then like people started calling 911, whatever, ambulance, blah blah, right? So then the ambulance gets here and like, you know, like I don't remember if did they put me on a stretcher? I don't remember, this was so long ago. But they put me on a stretcher. parched. They put, I think,
Coronavirus!
put me on a stretcher. And they put me in the ambulance, right? And literally, I'm sitting in the ambulance, and like my face was like throbbing, like I felt numb for some reason. And literally, tell me why. I hear people like yelling, and a fight broke out, I guess, right? And I guess my uncle like ran in there.
Yeah, that's right! That's right! Hey, no te metas, Victor! Hey! Hey!
The video, he ran in there, and I thought it was my uncle, my dad, I don't remember. And I was like focused on that, and then like I guess like the paramedic was like, you need to focus on yourself because your blood pressure is like extremely high. And I was like sir, that's my father. And I was like, let me make sure my dad's okay first. Like, I'm already like in the ambulance, you know, whatever. And like they're like, oh, but you have to focus on yourself. I was like, fine. So I did. My mom ended up getting in with me, and then my mom was like, oh, like whatever, they're fine. So then I don't like needles. Which the paramedic, like, they cracked a joke. They were like, oh, then you don't like needles because then, like, you know, like, so they were like, thanks. So they were like, oh, like, you know, they have to put an IV in because, like, I guess, like, they're trying to give me, like, painkiller or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, I really don't want a needle. So then they had this thing, like this tube that had like a soft thing at the end of it. They like put it in my nose and like whatever, it was like some medicine. That felt so weird. So then we end up driving, and we get to the hospital, right? And tell me why I started my pants, because it literally was like a, like, you know in the movies where like they're like have the people in, like on the stretcher or whatever, and they're rolling it into the hospital, and like they just see like the, what's it called, the lights. My anxiety went boop, and I was freaking out, right? So then we get to some like room, they end up putting over, and literally like I was like flipping out, and like I wasn't paying attention. All I hear was, Mom, we need your consent to put him on morphine. I was 15, 16, and they were like, morphine. And I was like, okay, like, didn't think about it. So then like, you know, they ended up having to put the IV in, obviously, and cried about it, but fine. And they ended up giving me the morphine, right? I have so many videos. I'm gonna like show you guys because like this is so funny. Tell me why I exposed myself to my mom while I was on morphine. So I ended up posting it on my story, and like people were swiping up. They were like, oh, like, you know, like, ha ha ha, like so funny, because it was like I just got ran over by a truck. And my friend Danielle, she FaceTimes me, and she was at a party, right? And you just hear the music just go, and everyone's like, and Danny was like, oh, where are you? And I was like, in the hospital. And she thought I was lying. So then I just showed her the hospital room. Tell me why. Everyone starts laughing. I was like, okay. To me, it was kind of funny because I was like, what are the chances of that happening, you know? So I was just dying, completely dying. And they were just laughing. And like, it was just so funny because, like, you know, like, just, so then, whatever, they couldn't tell, so they took x-rays and stuff like that, and they couldn't tell if it was, like, broken or whatever, because, like, I think she said it was too, like, swollen, like, my foot was swollen and stuff like that. They couldn't tell if it was, like, fractured or broken, so they made me wait, like, I don't know, 2 days to get the results, whatever, and they put me on crutches and they let me go home, right? So I'm in the car still like high from the morphine, and I'm like, my mom was like, oh, like, do you, like, my mom was like, oh, we're either gonna go home or we go back. Tell me why I chose to go back to the same place I got hit by a truck. So then we end up going back, and like everyone like knew it was me because there were still people there from like that they saw that it would happen. So everyone kept on coming up to me like, oh, like, dude, like, are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, I don't like the attention. I'm fine. Like, people like, it was just wild because like people would just like look at me as I'm like on crutches, and I'm like, baichismo. So like, you know, I'm fine. And like, I guess it was like, whatever. It was like, yeah, we went back, and then like people were like, you know, like there were some people that are like nice about it, like, you know, like my dad's friend gave my dad like money, you know, like to help out, whatever. This turned into a lot. So basically, like, the cops like were like telling the guy, like, because like he had cameras on his mirrors, because like they want to record like when they burn out the tires or whatever. So the guy refused to give the cops the recording to the side where he hit me. So my mom made a whole police report and stuff like that. And this took like months. This was like so long. And like, I guess since like he was 16 or whatever, like they couldn't really do anything about it. So they just like paid for my hospital bills or whatever, because like that ain't cheap. That was like expensive. I was like,
hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
expensive. So yeah, and then like after that, like everything was fine after that. Like, you know, like now I'm known as like the kid that got his foot run over by a truck. But I guess it's like, I find it okay, this sounds so bad, but like I find it so funny because like, come on, like, what are the chances? Like, you think, you know, you're gonna go to a car show. Probably hardly anybody ever does, but you're going to a car show, and next thing you know, you're on your way to the hospital because your foot's like, you know. But it was whatever. But so yeah, that's my story. So peace.